Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting. I want to thank all of our in-person guests, especially our young ones, and as well as our online community and stakeholders for joining us this evening. It's my pleasure now to call the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, November the 11th, 2025, and the time is 6:01 p.m. At this time, I'm going to ask Master John Helbig if he would come on up, and he's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Let's everybody stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stand for a moment of silence.
Good job. Hold on
Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. We gonna okay?
You say he's in kindergarten? Kindergarten? Okay.
All right, everyone, let's give John another round of applause for his great job. And John, we're going to present to you a certificate. There you go.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we amend tonight's agenda with executive session for personnel matters and to approve the agenda.
All right, the motion has been made to amend the agenda to add the executive session for personnel matters and been properly seconded by Mr. Rouse. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. You've had an opportunity to review the minutes for October 21st, 2025 board meeting. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If there are none, the minutes will pass as distributed. Ms. Blackshear, the ethics statement.
In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest or interests of such conflict. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest? Seeing none, Mr. Chair, we will proceed with our agenda.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Blackshear. Do any of the board members have any comments or remarks at this time? If not, Dr. Bullitt.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, board members, those community members with us in person and those joining us virtually. I do have one announcement I'd like to bring to the community's attention. On this coming Thursday night, November the 13th, we'll have another great family engagement event. It is called the All You Can Read Book Tasting, and we will have that event. It will be located in the Twiggs County Middle High School lobby area. It's a district-wide event, so elementary, middle, and high school students and families are encouraged and welcome to attend, and it starts from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Mr. Chair, that concludes my announcements for tonight.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Bullock. This time we're going to move into our business agenda. And can I get a motion to approve Dr. Bullock's evaluation for 23-24 and 24-25?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King to approve the superintendent's evaluations. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Dr. Bullock, you have some district requests?
Yes, sir. We do have field trips and one fundraiser that we seek your approval. They do align with our district's vision, generating excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all of our students to compete globally. We want to thank you for approving our JROTC to participate and for their color guard at Twiggs Academy for their veterans program today. We also ask your approval for tomorrow for the 12th grade students to go to the Claim Your Spot, Central Georgia Technical College, Georgia Match Day. On Wednesday also, tomorrow, the FCCLA asks your approval for them to travel to Macon to the Forest Hill Church for the community service project at the food bank to be a volunteer. FCCLA also asks your approval for Friday to travel to the retired teachers luncheon at the Twiggs County Board of Education. On Friday, the 14th, also the 1st, 3rd, and 5th graders ask your approval to come to the retired teachers luncheon here at the Twiggs County Board of Education as well to perform for the retired teachers. On the 18th, which is Tuesday, the FCCLA asks your approval to travel to the FCCLA Community Thanksgiving Lunch. That's at the Twiggs County Board of Education. Am I? Make sure I didn't read it twice. And the FCC on Wednesday, the 19th, asks your approval to travel to Macon, Georgia for the community service project. That's at the Food Bank Volunteer Forest Hills Church. On the 20th, which is a Thursday, the 1st through 5th grade ask your approval to travel to Milledgeville, Georgia to Lake Country Lanes Bowling Center. On Thursday, the JROTC asks your approval to travel to Jeffersonville for a Jeffersonville Highway cleanup. On Friday, the 21st of November, the business and technology class would like to ask your approval to have a serving and the community, giving thanks and spreading cheer. It's a community service outreach in Jeffersonville. On the 12th of December, the 1st graders would like to travel to East Dublin for the Christmas Tree Farm trip. On Wednesday, the 14th of January, the Drumline and Tigerettes at JES would like your approval to travel to Milledgeville, Georgia, to Georgia College for the drumline and dance performance. On Thursday, the 15th of January, the FCCLA asks your approval to travel to Statesboro for a college tour of Georgia Southern University. And on Saturday, the Drumline and Tigerettes from JES ask your approval to travel to Macon to participate in the Macon Mayhem baseball game. On Thursday, the 22nd of January, hockey. I said baseball. Macon Mayhem hockey. On Thursday, the 22nd, thank you, Ms. King. The 22nd of January, FCCLA would like your approval to travel to Atlanta, Georgia for a college tour of Georgia State University. On Saturday, the 31st of January, the 12th graders would like your approval to travel to South Gwinnett High School for the Greater Atlanta HBCU College Fair. On Thursday, the 5th of February, the FCCLA would like your approval to travel to Columbus State for a college tour. And on Thursday, the 26th, they'd like your approval to travel to Atlanta to the State Farm Arena for the FCCLA Day with the Atlanta Hawks. The fundraiser that is being requested is that the Lady Cobras basketball team would like your approval to sell. They've been selling raffle tickets for breast cancer and a Cobra Spirit and a 50-50 raffle ticket to sell, and they're raising those funds for basketball travel gear and other related expenditures. Mr. Chair and board members, that concludes our district requests.
Thank you, Dr. Bullitt. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the field trip request.
I make a motion to approve the field trip request.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. Blackshear to approve the field trips request. Are there any questions? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Here's some question about can I get a motion to approve the fundraiser request?
I make a motion to approve the fundraiser request.
Okay. Can I get a second? No second? Okay, this is in 2020. Okay, so the motion fails, and we'll move on from there. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Austin?
Good evening, Board Chair Karstoffen, Vice Chair Rouse, Board members, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Bullard, constituents in person and virtually. I am presenting information regarding our Centegix renewal for Jeffersonville Elementary School. According to House Bill 268, we are required by law to have a mobile panic alert system in our school district. We have had Centegix in our school district since 2022. So this is the renewal for JES and the subsequent schools, middle high school and also the central office location will be coming within the next 2 years for renewal. It does align with our vision to generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. Centegix is located, Strategic Plan Goal 2 is also supported, which is excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities. Strategic has a large footprint in 4 core industries of education, healthcare, hospitality, and government. Specifically in Georgia, 91% of the school districts are using Centegix. 1 million badge wearers and 15,000 plus campuses are protected. This shows what our badge or our mobile panic alert device looks like. All of our staff in our school district has this. It's required that they wear it. And there's two type of alerts that can be activated. One alert is called a staff alert, and another is a campus-wide lockdown that can be activated by pressing the badge a designated amount of times. This is an infographic that demonstrates a few things. One, certain administrators have the application on their phone to where they can see where an alert is triggered, and it provides a map for that. At the bottom here, you see a red glowing notification device, which we have one here in our boardroom that's on this wall adjacent to the TV screen. And so it illuminates red when it's a code red lockdown in any of our locations. What you see on the next slide is again showing another portion of this, which is the actual intercom as well. We do receive an intercom or audio notification, and then the computer screens are displaying a message that says lockdown. The quote that we received from Centegix totals $41,000, and we have the option to pay that over 5 years, $8,000 per year. However, we have designated a grant, school security grant from the state, and we have until June 30th of 2026 to spend these funds. The total grant is $64,905. And our plan is to spend the $41,000 out of that, so we will have the opportunity to use the money from the state. This will give us the chance to not use any local funds. So this would be the best use of that because it is required by law and it is available for this fiscal year. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
You did say would be no local funds, it's gonna be through.
No, ma'am. The screen that I show with the actual funding source is a picture of our state portal that it has identified the school security grant. So this is a state-funded grant.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said this was the renewal. So when did you say the other schools would be?
So the other schools take place in which will be next year and the following year. Yes,
Next
ma'am.
year.
Will this grant cover all the schools?
This particular grant would not. We do have $141,000 that we receive in our Quality Basic Education Grant, which is our state QBE money. The state wants us to use that money because when we report on it every year, if they see we're not spending that money, they will probably take it away in the next General Assembly. So we'll use some of those funds that the state has provided us in our QB allotment to address ongoing purchases.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
One other question I have. Okay, on this, you got subtotal. For year one, the total is 8,200. Then you got grand total 41,000. So tell me.
Right. So if we paid it per year, so they're giving us a 5-year period to pay it, so it's 8,100 or 8,200 per year.
So you're requesting for us to pay?
To use the funds that we have available that ends June 30, 2026, to pay the full amount. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
And
that'll
we
be for 5 years.
Yes, ma'am. We won't have to pay this again until 2030. 2030, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to say, I see it's on the agenda for an action item,
Yes, ma'am.
but this needs to be an information item, because this is the first time that you bring it to us. Maybe at the next, we'll be able to make a vote on it.
Okay.
Is that a motion, Ms. Blackshear?
That's a motion that this is information, not an action item at this time. We'll vote on it at the next, I'm sorry. I would like to make a motion that this is information item, not an action item. because this is our first time hearing of this.
Okay, the motion is to change this from an action item to an information item.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King to change this from a information, action item to an information item. Are there any questions? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Now, do we have this is what we have currently.
Yes, sir, we purchased this in 2022.
When does it run out?
Probably, they'll give us probably till December, but November was the contractual date.
Gotcha.
We brought it as action because we've had it in our district for 3 years, so it's a renewal of that device.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Austin. You have the monthly report. Oh, the motion. I can't remember. They did. Okay. Okay. All right. You have the budget, the monthly statement.
If that's the order you'd like for me to go, but I think item D is the fund balance reading.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I missed that. Oh, you got 3 things on here. Got you. So give us the first reading of the fund balance thing. Okay.
Yes, sir. So protocol has been established and will be for my next presentation as well. So what I'm preparing to read is a fund balance policy. The district does not have one currently. And as we've been looking at policy and procedures as just relates to spending and coming out of our ESSA period, this is one of the best practices that I've seen that district have as relates to protecting their unassigned fund balance. So I'll read this in its entirety, and I'll clarify things after the presentation because I do want an uninterrupted reading for the first read. So board policy DCL, fund balance, it is in review. That means that the Georgia School Board Association, Assembly, and an appointed attorney through their organization is reviewing the policy for legalities and comments. Purpose: the Twiggs County School District has enacted the following policy in an effort to ensure financial security through the maintenance of a health reserve fund that guides the creation, maintenance, and use of resources for financial stabilization purposes. The school district's primary objective is to maintain a prudent level of financial resources to protect against reducing service levels or raising taxes and fees due to temporary revenue shortfalls or unpredicted one-time expenditures. The school district also seeks to maintain the highest possible credit ratings, which are dependent, in part, on the school district maintenance of a healthy fund balance. This policy establishes goals and provides guidance concerning the desired level of fund balance maintained by the district to mitigate fiscal, financial risk that can occur from unforeseen revenue fluctuations, unanticipated expenditures, and similar circumstances. Board policy. Fund balance is a measurement of available financial resources and is the difference between total assets and total liabilities in a governmental fund. Beginning with the most restrictive constraints, fund balance amounts will be reported in the following categories. 1, non-spendable fund balance, amounts that cannot be spent either because they are not in expendable form or because they are legally or contractually required to be maintained intact. 2, restricted fund balance, amounts that can be spent only for specific purposes because of state or federal laws or externally imposed conditions by grantors or creditors. 3, committed fund balance, amounts that can only be used for specific purposes as a result of constraints imposed by formal action of the Board of Education. 4, assigned fund balance, amounts intended to be used by the government for specific purposes. Intent can be expressed by the Board of Education or by a designee to whom the Board of Education delegates the authority. 5, unassigned fund balance. All amounts not included in other spendable classifications. The responsibility for designated funds to specific classification shall be as follows. A committed fund balance. The funds of the Twiggs County School District are to be committed to projects or programs by formal action of the Board of Education and uncommitted in the same manner. The formal action that is required to be taken to establish, modify, or rescind a fund balance commitment is a resolution approved by the board. Funds may be committed prior to the end of the fiscal year with a corresponding amount determined in the subsequent fiscal year. For purpose of this policy, the district's self-insurance funds are considered committed with the amount to be committed each year determined by the Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations. Assigned fund balance. Funds of the Twiggs County School District may be assigned by the superintendent or his designee. The county record should reflect sufficient documentation to support an assignment of funds by the administration. For purpose of this policy, school activity accounts are considered assigned. When multiple categories of fund balance are available for expenditure, the district will start with the most restricted category and spend those funds first before moving down to the next category with available funds. The fund balance of the school district's general fund has been accumulated to meet the purpose of providing stability and flexibility to respond to unexpected adversity and/or opportunities. The target is to maintain the fund balance, net of non-spendable and restricted resources, of 8 to 12% of annual operating expenditure for the subsequent fiscal year budget and not to exceed 15% of the total budget of the subsequent fiscal year in compliance with State Code 20-2-16785. The school district basic goal is to maintain annual expenditure increases necessary to provide a consistent educational environment satisfactory to its citizens and to limit expenditures to anticipated revenue in order to maintain a balanced budget. The decision to retain an unrestricted fund balance of not less than 8 to 12% for the subsequent fiscal year budget stems from the following. An unrestricted fund balance provides funding to cover operating expenses. An unrestricted fund balance provides liquidity necessary to accommodate the district's uneven cash flow, which is inherent in its periodic tax collection schedule. An unrestricted fund balance provides the liquidity to respond to contingent liabilities. An unrestricted fund balance may provide additional resources for other funds. If the fund balance net of non-spendable and restricted resources at fiscal year end fall below the goal, the district shall develop a restoration plan to achieve and maintain a minimum fund balance. Budgeted activity funds shall be excluded from the calculation. This is the first reading in its entirety. In summary, the unassigned fund balance of 8 to 12% provides the district with fiscal stability and health in order to weather any unprecedented or uncertain market conditions. And we are working to ensure that we improve our fund balance. We've had these conversations in prior board meetings, and so having a policy in place in order to govern our fiscal responsibility, I deem is necessary. So this is the first read. It has been posted on the proper channels through Assembly for public comment as well. So we have a 30-day wait period that, of course, we have to abide by. If there's any comments or concerns that come from the review team, I will share those with Senior Cabinet Superintendent Dr. Bullard, and if there's any adjustments, we will make those and follow the process from there. But at this time, this is the first read of the fund balance. Any questions or concerns?
I notice here in this first paragraph, in the purpose is to make sure that the district has a healthy fund balance. So we're doing this because the fund balance is not healthy.
Absolutely. Our fund balance needs to stay within that 8 to 12% range. And so, like I expressed before, once it falls below that 5%, we need to be taking those proper steps to do that. So we're being proactive in ensuring that does not happen again. So this is what this is for.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Austin.
All right. And this will be the last one. I know y'all tired of hearing my voice. I read this long policy, then Ms. Reardon come bring up the rear, bring some light. So, this is our monthly financial report for October 31st, 2025. So, as presented prior, now far left column, the general fund, we have collected 26% of the receipts. Expenditures, 36%, and we are 33% into the fiscal year. Our debt service fund, we will make our first interest payment in December, about $79,000, and then we have our principal payment in June of $510,000. So we'll be making a payment in December from our SPLOST account and also from SPLOST in June. So that's why no expenditure reflected there. Special revenue funds, we have been reimbursed for our fiscal year 26 federal programs. 21% of the anticipated budget has came in of $203,195, and those dollars are reimbursed to us, so the expenditure and revenues match. The capital project funds, 120% of the revenue. This is our SPLOST collection, $261,288 expended. And as we look to our school nutrition, 33% of the revenue has been collected, and 23% of the expenditures at point of month, 33% year month end October 31st. So we are still anticipating our tax revenue. Real time, those checks have been increasing more as of late as of yesterday. I think we received one of our first big ones as of yesterday. So that is increasing, but as of October, we were still on the rising side of that tax increase. But those are coming in, so we should start seeing more in our revenue column going into November, December. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
To you, Dr. Bullard, or to you, does it look like we're gonna have to do any cuts, any major cuts? Sorry. Does it look like it's gonna be, we're gonna have to do any cuts with this budget?
So we will use attrition first, and we would definitely redelegate or delegate responsibilities to other existing personnel. We do understand that personnel is 85 to 90% of the budget. So when we say cut, that means that we're going to take a position and get rid of it without attrition. So that would be something I had to take guidance on the superintendent about in HR. But as of right now, we are planning to reduce our workforce through attrition. And we do have some key positions that we feel we can do that next year.
As Mr. Austin stated, yes, excuse me, we have taken a look at our staffing, and we know that there are some positions that we will, through attrition, be able to minimize and shrink our staffing as a result of attrition at the end of the school year, rather than cutting positions while people are in it. There will be some retirements that will be coming up, et cetera. So we have decisions that we already plan to make. Are those positions necessary to bring back the following year? So we've been already taking a look at that, and we already have identified multiple positions that we would not need to refill. So it would, in fact, reduce the expenditures that the district has through attrition.
Definitely, I wouldn't want anybody to lose their job.
Yes, ma'am.
We just got to do what's best for our children.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Austin, I need you to walk through that very first column with me.
Okay, which one?
I notice, and these are all projections, is that correct?
Which column are you referring
The
to?
very first column,
Yes, those are projections.
okay,
Projections,
the budget,
Mhm.
the budget column. Okay, I noticed that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sources of projected income there.
That's correct.
Okay. I need you to walk with me through the expenditures, if you will.
Okay.
All right, the instruction. Which of these pots of money does this come out of?
Combination of state and local. So your local taxes and also state QBE. Primarily state QBE because that's where most of your teachers are housed.
All right. So that's from two pots. That's from the local taxes and the QBE.
Correct.
Okay. What about pupil services?
Pupil service will be a combination. You do have certified employees located in pupil services, so you do have some state funding that will cover that as well.
State, the QBE?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not all, but you do have some state QBE in that because we do have certified employees that earn QBE dollars.
Okay, how else is it funded?
Local.
Local, okay. And how about your improvement of instruction?
Local.
Local,
Because most of the supplies and things of that nature, we don't really have personnel there. We have reallocated some things there, but most of that is supplies and operational costs.
all right, how about educational media?
Yep. Education media will be certified. That's where your media services are. So that'll be QBE.
QBE? Okay. General administration?
General administration will be a combination. General administration is, this is where the superintendent, board members, and et cetera. So there'll be a combination of QBE funding and also local.
Okay. How about school administration?
Combination of both. School administration has principals, assistant principals, secretaries, things of that nature. So you do have QBE dollars funding a portion of your administration and local dollars funding your classified staff in the area.
Okay. What about business services?
Business services would be primarily local. This is your support staff in the finance department, and those are classified staff, so that'd be local funding.
And maintenance and operation?
Maintenance and operation would be local. You do have, no, all of it would be local, yes.
How about student transportation?
Student transportation has a categorical grant in QBE for transportation. We're allotted 16 bus drivers, about $400,000 in QBE allotment for that. So you have a combination of state to support the driver costs and then local for your other classified staff.
Okay. How about school safety and security?
It is funded completely by the state.
Gotcha. What about, what's next? Central support services.
Local essential support services will be those services, IT, HR, and et cetera. And so those positions are local positions.
And then your other support services?
Other support services, it is a catch-all. What I mean by that is if we have some supplies that do not identify in instructions or instruction, maintenance, and operations, but it's locally funded, which is why the amount is so low.
So that's local.
It is local.
Okay. All right. And now, this last thing, what is your open purchase?
Yep. So the open purchase orders could be open, also accounts payable. So these are items that the district has encumbered, which means that we're responsible for paying these particular items. So that can be a combination of utilities. It can be a combination of, depending on the time report being ran, benefits. It can be a combination of supplies. So it's anything that the district has made either a purchase order or have an invoice that needs to be paid.
Is any of this an overflow from last fiscal year?
No, the only overflow we have is from a discrepancy in 2023 with some of our related services with the vendor. We have clarified that, and that was something that we have worked on to reduce. They were overcharging us for some things. So that would be one overflow that I can account for without looking at my list.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Olson.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other questions? Thank you. Ms. Reardon, I know you've been chopping at the bit to get up here. I'm sorry I held you up.
Well, that's okay, you have business to take care of. Good evening, Board Chair Karstafen, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Superintendent Dr. Mack Bullard, our constituents in person and online. This evening, I am presenting an information item on our Cognia progress monitoring. It aligns with our vision, generating excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It also aligns with all 5 of our strategic plan focus areas. In 2023, Twiggs County Public Schools went through the accreditation process with Cognia, and we earned full accreditation. Accreditation is a continuous improvement. Cognia defines continuous improvement as an embedded behavior rooted in an institution's culture that constantly focuses on conditions, processes, and practices to improve teaching and learning. On this next slide, you see noteworthy practices that back in 2023, I went over these noteworthy practices. I won't go over those tonight, but they're just there for your convenience. Cognia congratulated at that time the Twiggs County School System for its effective and continuous growth, our effective leadership, learner-centric decision-making, and willingness to continuously improve. As the system moves forward, the insights and findings from the report will further leverage those commitments and build upon the strengths of the system. Back in 2023, we had 3 areas for improvement: conduct a review of all instructional materials to ensure their alignment with state standards, evaluate and monitor all instructional programs and organizational conditions to improve instruction, advance learning, and ensure consistency and implementation throughout the system, and develop and implement a plan to proactively determine current and future professional staffing needs as student and county populations decline. I placed a document before you. This is our mid-cycle report. On page 5 is the response that we had to the first area for improvement. We're in a constant state of improvement within the districts as part of our improvement cycle. On page 6 shows you our next steps, what we're going to be doing next. On page 7 is our response to the second area for improvement, the things that we've been doing, and then on page 8 are your next steps. On page 9 of the document in front of you is our response to the third area with our next steps on page 10. On page 11, we had to record what our successes were that we experienced as we're going through this continuous improvement cycle. And on page 12 were the challenges that we faced during that time. The next step that is occurring is our evaluator will have a response with next steps. I want to assure you we continue to be fully accredited. Our evaluator has evaluated the work that we have done. He has given a response of sufficient progress with no further action required on all 3 areas for improvement. There is a summary that has been completed you see what his response was on page 6, 8, and 10. All you see in the report is that it says sufficient progress, no further action required. He will give a narrative with a response. He had promised us that they would be ready for tonight, but they are not ready because another person at the state level reviews it, and that person had a family emergency. So when that person reviews it and gives it back to us, then I'll just give you a document. So you'll have an updated document. We just won't go back through it again. Next, you see our timeline. This is the timeline for going through accreditation. In the past, it was a 5-year cycle. Now it is a 6-year cycle. In year 1, that was in 2023, was our engagement review. Then in year 2, districts would have a compliance with unmet assurances, if applicable, and ongoing support. We do not receive this because we met everything that we needed to meet in 2023, so we did not have any unmet assurances. So that part doesn't apply to us. In year 3, we received notification and support with our progress report, the document you see in front of you. Preparation began for that. Year 4 is the completion and submission of that progress report, which it was due in November the 1st, and that's why I gave that to you so that you see what was submitted. Then the evaluator met with us to discuss the report. That was just a few days later. And then the evaluator completes the mid-cycle report. That's where we are now. That person has completed it. We're waiting on that last part where it says that the Cognia Regional Office reviews it, approves, and uploads the final process. That would have been done prior to tonight, except for a family emergency. Year 5, that'll be next school year, is our continuous improvement process. Year 6 will be the engagement review and orientation and preparation for the year of review in 27-28 school year. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Questions? If there are no other questions, thank you, Ms. Reed.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this time, I entertain a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Did I get a?
I second.
Okay,
I made it. She said-
thank you. So the motion to move into executive session been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Are there any questions? Okay, all in favor, raise your hands. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. I want to thank each one of you for being here tonight. At this time, we're going to move into executive session to discuss personnel matters. You're certainly welcome to stay, but we certainly understand if you don't. I was can I get a motion to return from executive session?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. King and second by Ms. Blackshear that we return from executive session. Is there any questions? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Okay, I need a motion to accept the fundraiser request with minus with the deletion of a name. With the correction.
I move to approve the fundraiser for the Lady Cobras basketball team.
Okay. With the deletion.
With the deletion.
Can I get a second? Okay, the motion has been properly made by Ms. King and second by Ms. Blackshear that we would approve the fundraiser with the necessary corrections. Are there any questions? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion is approved unanimously. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Ross. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion has been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. King. Are there any to adjourn? Are there any questions? All in favor, raise your hand. This meeting is adjourned.